What is up everyone, it's Nefo here. So today we're going to be looking at a few videos from HowCast. They mostly do instructional videos and their content has probably been recommended to all of you on at least one occasion. But I just want to have a look at some of them and laugh. I know, they aren't the guy who throws eggs at things, that's How to Basic, completely different channel. So first up we have How to Practice Kissing Techniques.
Kissing seems like one of those things you can't really practice at unless you have a viable partner in front of you. But you would be wrong, my darlings. All you need is a delicious cupcake and your own mouth.
But I left my mouth at work. Damn it, I guess I'll have to pick it up on Tuesday.
Let me tell you why. The cupcake's frosting is very similar to the mouth of your potential kissing partner.
How do you know? Have you kissed them yourself? Also, I'm a bit worried about what she had to do to come to that conclusion. It's like those scientific facts that could only be discovered by someone having to do something nasty. Like when you hear that dolphins are the only other animals that have sex for pleasure.
That is, you want to respect the integrity of this cupcake's frosting and not go at it with like a strong, awkward tongue.
You're right guys, make sure we don't sexually harass the cupcake. I feel like if this girl was a guy, she'd be the bloke from American Pie who fucks the apple pie.
I'll show you what I mean. This is how you want to kiss someone.
Okay, why has my zipper suddenly become undone?
Gently and deliciously.
How the fuck do you deliciously kiss someone?
How do you know if you're doing that? The way that you know that your tongue is in the right position is if you can say la 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 la.
Wow. So you're expecting me to say a character from the Teletubbies name multiple times whilst kissing a girl and you think that'll help? Girls hardly want to kiss me as it is. Although to be fair, if I was kissing their downstairs and went la 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 with my tongue, I doubt they'd complain.
Very gently, not la 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 la. You're not trying out for some like hideous Marky Mark cover band. La 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 la. And that's the same sort of strength you should use when you make out with this cupcake.
Wait, so I'm using this technique just for this one individual cupcake? So I need to fly to America and try this out on one specific cupcake? Are you saying all cupcakes are different?
La, la, la. Now, you know that you're doing something wrong if when you kiss the cupcake, you're disrupting the entire icing segment. So like you're like making this weird Z in it, like.
This can't be applied to real life kissing. There's nothing in a girl's throat that could give me this indication. Unless she's got a fucking cupcake in there.
I mean, come on. Have some respect for the cupcake. Because this cupcake is a lot like your partner's mouth. They're not going to want like this hurricane force situation interrupting their situation.
What do you mean interrupting their situation? They're kissing me.
So go easy, go slow, and above all, appreciate the deliciousness that you're encountering. It's so good. What? Cupcake.
I just feel sorry for whoever made this cupcake. Like they probably thought it would just be eaten by some kid for pudding. Instead it's getting molested by a failed porn star.
Oh, well, that's the way you feel.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that? What is that?
Oh yeah, what? You want to meet my parents?
Meeting her parents? If my daughter was on YouTube instructing people how to seduce a cupcake, I wouldn't only disown her, I'd cut off my testicles to make sure that I would never breed again.
Okay. Oh my god. There's frosting in the middle. Frosting.
I feel the same way about cupcakes now as I did about peaches after watching Call Me By Your Name.
Ladies and gentlemen, go find yourself a cupcake, but not this one. Because this one belongs to me.
Okay, I'm so glad the video stops here. I feel like if it went any longer she'd be using the cupcake in other places. Well, that was excruciating, and we've only just started. Next up is how to make out in a car.
So you find yourself in a car, sometimes driving, sometimes not.
If you're driving, for the love of God, do not make out with anyone. I can't believe I'm having to tell people this, but thanks, HowCast.
Sometimes you want to make out in a car. I, unfortunately, have missed out on this experience because I grew up in New York and subway making out's a little more frowned upon.
Yes.
I know.
So you got to grow up in New York, a city millions of people dream of visiting, and you're complaining that you never got to make out with anyone in a car. Wow, your life must be tough. I mean, I spent 7 months working at a newsagent's in Iceland just so I could save up the money to fly to America and see New York, but that's nothing compared to what this girl has had to go through.
For making out.
So we're parked, we hope, or else that sounds
So
really
basically,
dangerous.
maybe something like
Whoa there, sailor!
exactly. So
Oh, because now it feels like we're reclining
there
a
you
little
go.
bit.
Exactly. So now you're actually putting both parties in a comfortable position. All right.
Couch-esque.
So, yeah. I mean, you can lay back. You can go
You
forward.
can buckle up.
There's a lot of,
I don't know.
safety first. Hopefully the car's not
Metaphorically.
moving when this is happening.
I mean, by the end of the process, I imagine you want the car to be bouncing up and down.
But, all right.
It depends
Well, why
on
don't
how
we
it goes.
display this for them, okay?
Let us display.
All right, so good.
I have no idea if these two are a couple or not, but I'm just going to pretend they aren't because it's funnier. Because look at how into it this guy is. I feel like when HowCast were asking who wanted to be in it, the president of HowCast or whatever just asked one guy, and then the guy in this video was like, "Oh, don't worry, Steve, take the day off, I'll sort this one, you've got a lot on your plate at the moment."
I have to tell you, I forgot I was in a car.
Did you think that you were at home kissing a cupcake? Okay, we're going to move away from softcore porn for a minute. Here's how to act if you're stopped by the police.
What to do if you're stopped by the police. Whether you call them the police, the 5-0, the popo, or something else entirely, be cool and follow these steps. You will need the ability to remain calm, good manners, and a little luck.
I mean, first off, if you're making out in the back of the car while it's still moving, there's nothing you can say in your defence.
Step 1. Relax.
Okay, I've been in saunas, and I've never in my life seen an individual sweat as much as this guy is right now.
Being nervous, even if you've done nothing at all, makes cops suspicious.
Again, if someone is sweating this much at the sight of a police officer, he at the very least has a body in the boot.
Step 2. If you're in a car, put your hands in front of you, on the steering wheel. Don't reach for your license or registration until you're asked. Police are trained to assume that everyone has a hidden weapon, so don't give them a reason to believe that you might.
Is that a joke? I can't, I don't see... Imagine if he got shot and the news the next day was, man got shot and killed after police officer thought teddy bear was a gun.
Step 3. Remember the old adage, speak only if spoken to? Now's a good time to follow it. Don't offer excuses or explanations. You may be admitting to something they're not even pulling you over for.
Holy shit, he does have a body in the boot. I thought the point of this video was the guy was innocent. So this video is encouraging people to try and talk their way out of committing crimes? No. If you've done something illegal in your car, you should own up to it. Putting your hands up and saying, "Sorry officer, I shouldn't have done that," is way better than lying to them and making excuses.
If you have anything illegal, in a car or elsewhere, don't look at it. Police are trained to study body language.
Again, if you have something illegal in your car, you have to be prepared for the consequences. Stop telling people how they can get away with things. Next up is a problem millions of people find themselves in every day. How to survive an alien abduction.
How to survive an alien abduction. Intergalactic ambassadors of peace? More like sneaky space creeps.
This guy sounds like he has such a personal hatred of aliens. Like, ooh, bloody aliens, coming over here, stealing our jobs.
Live through your ordeal with these tips. You will need mental focus, acting ability, brawling skills, iron will, a disease.
I will need a disease? Well, which one? Should I correct coronavirus? Or should I go to Ibiza and get chlamydia?
Step 2. To resist a physical assault, act submissive and intellectually inferior.
If you work for HowCast, I don't think you need to act intellectually inferior.
When your captor gets close enough, surprise them with your cunning and agility.
Cunning? You put a bucket on his head.
I have a cunning plan to solve the problem.
Oh shit, the aliens must have watched this and used their cunning and agility too.
Step 3. Refuse any demands to take them to your leader.
I mean, even if I did accept their demands, how am I supposed to get them to meet with Boris Johnson?
The minute you do, you've gone from useful informant to cosmic snack.
Oh, well I guess I'm dead. There's nothing more I can do.
Step 4.
What do you mean, step 4? My head has been bitten off!
Aliens are notoriously susceptible to Earth-borne diseases. Try to contaminate your captors by sneezing, coughing, breathing, and being grody in their general direction.
That's great and all, but I'm dead! An extraterrestrial has bitten my head off and eaten it. I'm not in a position to cough and sneeze at them. Nope. Fuck off. Just fuck the fuck off. Next video. How to fall asleep fast.
Step 1. Get some exercise during the day.
Now you're all right.
Step 4. Imagine a scene that is pleasant and soothing to you.
Like sitting in the back of the car kissing a cupcake.
Step 5. Still not asleep?
No, HowCast. That's why people are watching the video.
Take a tablet of melatonin, an over-the-counter hormone that promotes sleep.
Well, what was the point of the rest if you can just get sleeping pills? Fuck off. Next. So next up we have how to cope with the fear of flying.
How to cope with a fear of flying. Are you scared to death every time you step on a plane? There are things you can do to reduce your anxiety that don't involve Valium or a pitcher of margaritas.
He's right. For example, I might use a bottle of Jack Daniels or a bottle of peach schnapps.
Step 3. Bring aboard as many diversions as you can think of. An engaging book, puzzles, good music, a stack of magazines, a variety of snacks.
If I was sat next to this guy on a plane, I would be begging for it to crash.
A DVD player. You want your mind so occupied that you won't notice every in-flight hiccup.
Okay, distractions are good at all, but if a dinosaur is attacking the motherfucking plane, I want to know what's going on.
If you run out of things to do, talk to the person next to you.
Okay, if I was sat next to groundskeeper Willie, I certainly wouldn't be bored. Right, staying on the subject of flying, we have... how to ask out a flight attendant.
How to ask out a flight attendant. Flight attendants get hit on all the time, so if you want your sincere interest to stand out, you'll have to set yourself apart from the crowd.
Or, you know, you could use Tinder.
You will need charm, chivalry, and a business card.
A business card? Was this written by Patrick Bateman?
Step 1. Dress in clean, neat business clothes. You'll immediately distinguish yourself from the 90% of flyers who have dressed for comfort. You know, the ones whose gnarly toes are sticking out of their flip-flops.
First of all, I have never in my life seen someone wear flip-flops on a plane. Second, if everyone on the plane has feet like that, I don't think you need to work hard to stand out.
Step 2. If at all possible, sit in first or business class.
Oh, I see. You assume that all that women want is a rich husband. Now it makes sense.
Deserved or not, it immediately gives you credibility. A good way to sit in first class without paying a fortune is to use your frequent flyer miles for an upgrade.
Oh, okay, so I just have to pluck off the money tree and fly across the world until I can afford business class. Except, if I had the kind of money to fly that much, couldn't I just pay for business class anyway?
Step 3. Flash a winning smile at the target of your desire as you board and offer a sincere hello.
Shouldn't you just do that anyway? Isn't that the nice thing to do?
Flight attendants are used to being ignored when they welcome passengers, so this will make you stand out as someone with manners.
Just because I say hello to someone, it doesn't mean I've earned sex. I say hi to people when I go to the corner shop. It doesn't mean I'm expecting them to open their legs to me.
Hold eye contact for a second longer than normal. It's been proven to unnerve people in a way that sexually excites them.
And, you know, it could make people uncomfortable.
Step 4. Decline the champagne. Accepting a glass of bubbly upon boarding is for giddy novices.
You're right. Ask for WKD instead. Also, why is this guy allowed to turn things down, but if the air stewardess does, she's in the wrong?
Step 5. Look for an opportunity to show your chivalrous side. For example, you could jump up and help her as she struggles to hoist someone's 200-pound carry-on into an overhead compartment.
Okay, this is really pissing me off now. The video is encouraging people to be nice in hope they'll get them sex. All this does is make people think, if I help this person with this thing, they'll reward me by fucking me. They're not taking into context the feelings of the stewardess. What if she's happily married with children? What if she's a lesbian? What if she just doesn't want to? I'm really getting sick of society having this attitude. If someone says no, then you just have to keep changing your approach until they say yes. That's not how it works. No doesn't mean convince me, it means no.
Read something that makes you look intelligent and successful, and that invites conversation.
Oh, I see. Do a Brian Griffin. Interesting.
Step 8. When the captain instructs the flight crew to take their seats for landing, take out a business card and jot down a note to the effect of, "Dear Sandy, I'd love to take you to an expensive restaurant for dinner one night." Start saving your money. You'll need it for that pricey dinner when she phones.
Again, if you can afford to go to business class just to find a fling, you can afford a succulent Chinese meal. That video made me feel sick to my stomach. Let's go for something a bit simpler. How to take a shower.
How to take a shower. You probably take a shower almost every day.
God damn it, why does my zipper keep on coming undone? Back in a moment.
If you have access to a sauna, spend 5 minutes beforehand working up a sweat to open your pores.
Mate, for the last 5 days, I've had instant noodles for breakfast. And I spent the last of my money on all those flights to have a one-night stand with an air stewardess. So how the fuck am I going to afford a sauna?
Step 5. Scrub your body from top to bottom in that order. You want the dirt to head down the drain.
Who the fuck needs to be instructed on this? Like, how many people enter a shower and forget how it works? And by the end of it, they've accidentally baked a coffee cake because they got confused.
Did you know the average shower in the United States lasts 8.2 minutes?
Yep, that's not totally suspicious. I bet that wasn't conducted by some guy who just watched millions of women shower and was like, it's for a study. Right, final video, how to flirt.
How to flirt. There isn't just an art to flirting, there's a science. Use these proven methods to charm and seduce. You will need a positive attitude and a healthy dose of self-confidence.
I don't have either of those, so I'm just going to stick to wanking.
Step 2. Say hello and then ask a question that requires more than a yes or no answer. For example, what do you think of the band? Or, where are we anyway?
Well, didn't you two arrange to meet up? Wouldn't you have some basic knowledge about where you are?
Step 3. Keep the conversation light. The object is to banter, not get bogged down in a serious discussion.
If you can banter about butterflies, I'd be amazed.
Not sure the person you're flirting with is interested? Look at his or her feet. If they're pointing in your direction, you're scoring.
I mean, if you're sat directly opposite someone, their feet will inevitably point at you. I'd love it if she looked down and his foot was just backwards because he was so disinterested. Anyway, that's all I'm doing today for HowCast. They have so many videos, so I'll probably look at a few more in the future. But after seeing all this misogynistic bollocks, I need a break and a stiff drink. Plus, I'm meeting my cupcake's parents later. Cheerio.